Hello, my fellow Aquarian, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign people. We are going to have this incredibly financially good month of November where we could even win money or have a feeling of like financial flow, ease, and abundance, and plant new prosperity seeds as well. It's great for our money. I'll tell you why in a minute. And it's also good for our health. So, better health, vitality, and directionality, and better money stories germinating in our sky in the month of November. If you want to know more about that, stay tuned. But before I do, let me tell you a bit about me. Welcome to my channel if you're new. My name is Lori Lothy, and I am a Hellenistic whole sign astrologer using divine timing tools and techniques from the ancient world in order for you to time your best life so that you can see the sky stories ahead and navigate with proactive intention. Avoid the quicksand, move toward that lovely beach with great sun and tranquil turquoise waters. That's how I like to think astrology works for each of us. If you want to take a course with me at the intermediate level, my Divine Timing Masterclass 4-week course is happening next year in probably February. If you want to join in, please do, but there's a wait list, so get on that description box below. Join my Cosmic Moonshine newsletter. You'll love it. You get a swig of weekly astrology news, and I cover all the transits of the week ahead. It's content you don't get anywhere else, and you get a 30% discount code reading off for me until the end of the year, but then I'm changing the code in January to 20% because I just need to do less readings with people. I'm too busy with that. And but you also get a lot of perks and gifts and free contests. So if you want to join my newsletter, do so. Lastly, I'm in my sister Nancy's house, but this is the house I grew up in. This is my hometown in Ontario, north of Ontario, Canada, visiting her. She's an amazing healer. She just healed me of something that should have needed antibiotics. I completely cleared it using her as a healer. She's also fixed my sciatic joint, my tailbone, things that were giving me chronic pain. She's a genius healer of great magnitude, used to be a nurse, and her Gratitude 20 sale is on November. See my description box, healingwithnancylynn.com. If you have something that ails you, give her a try. I really swear by her, and she's very, very popular because she is good at what she does. All right. And yeah, even at a distance, it works. Let's talk about your sky. Why is it a good money story? Okay. This is more true for the Aquarius rising people, especially Aquarius rising, let's say from 24 to 29 Aquarius, but it's true for, and sun and moon of those degrees, but it's true for all Aquarius, no matter your degree of your Aquarian rising. Well, it's because Lord Jupiter, right, Mr. Benefic, ho, Santa Claus, fairy godfather, goodness, benefic dude, especially if you're born in the days, superpowers for day babies, has moved back to Pisces, your second house of earnings, income, and possessions. He hasn't been here for a while because he took a detour out, and he won't be back for 12 more years. Let's talk about that cycle. Like basically he came in, brain is going to go offline, but I think it might've been like March to July of 2021. He was in Pisces, just the first 2 degrees. Like he tiptoed in with his big toe to the seaside waters of his home kingdom of Pisces, where he's very strong. But then he came back full on from late December of 2021, all the way through. I hope I said 2020 earlier, but anyway, COVID brain fog from recovery a month ago. But bottom line is, yeah. So like, let's say like, until May, June, probably like April, May, June, July of 21. Yes, he was in Pisces, but only up to 2 degrees. And then he's back again at the end of December 2021 till May 10th, 2022, going through the entirety of the Pisces real estate, his home kingdom. He's been retrograding, however, recently from the Aries placement. And he started to retrograde in July, the 3rd week, and move into our second house of earnings, possessions, and wealth that keeps us thriving in life. Food, shelter, water. He did that, all right, for our benefit, and he won't be back for 12 years to help us financially. And that ingress was on October 30th. So the whole month of November is infused with this opportunity. Now, he will move out of the retrogradation into direct motion on the 23rd through to December 20th. Therefore, I would suggest there's a lot of kick-ass financial momentum then. It doesn't disqualify him in his retrograde motion, though. He's still benefic. And so the whole of the November is full of goodness. If you have planets near 28 Pisces, we'll look to that. If your sun, moon, or rising is at 28 degrees of Aquarius, maybe there's a semi-sextile, you'll feel it more strongly, but it's good for all of us. And he goes back over ground that he was covering in the second half of April and the first week of May 2022. What were you up to then in your money story? Take a really good look, because that is what is back again. I remember paying a big chunky tax bill And that was great. I managed to pay it. I remember teaching my Sky Reader class, which is I'm teaching again, my lovely 8-week class. And that was great and financially lucrative. So what else could I go back to? You go back to and think about, last half of April. And there's a possibility that you might find some things that are familiar to you that are reoccurring in November. Now, you can plant prosperity seeds here. It doesn't have to be it all shows up in November, December. It could be that things you're doing, projects you're initiating, jobs you're accepting. If you're working for somebody, this is a house of, connects to your midheaven or your 10th house, places of jobs and employment, connects to your 6th, the workspace, that you could find yourself in that energy, getting a new job opportunity or expanding in your power within your current job or getting a raise. All very possible. Also, Jupiter here expands your appetite for food that you put in your mouth, substances you put in your mouth. So if you've been in kind of a closed loop of being cautious about eating too much, indulging too much, this could reinitiate your desire to reindulge. So I give me as an example, I haven't had any alcohol now for like 5 weeks because COVID knocked my desire for wine out. But I wouldn't doubt that Jupiter coming into the house of things we put in our mouth will make me want to have wine again. We'll see. But it's also, he's auspicious. Even then, it'll probably be going back and having some moderate wine. Neptune's been in our 2nd house of earnings, making us foggy, confused, and deluded since 2011 about the best earnings strategy. Jupiter here is connecting again with Neptune, but it could bring us into a dream income, a dream story, a positive story around money. There's a bit of support here for a windfall that will be coming from Venus. Venus will be going through the house of pennies from heaven and windfalls after the middle of the month, around the 16th, 17th of November, with Mercury, gaming, marketing, mercantile, stocks, whatever. And the two of them are holding hands like mid-November onward in your lucky financial windfall house of the 11th. And the glorious, and Jupiter is the owner of that house. He owns that real estate. He's the boss of that Venus. And then along comes the new moon in early Sag. I believe it's 0 degrees or 2 degrees. My memory is failing me. It doesn't matter. That new moon is going to be accompanied by a conjunction to Venus and Mercury in a windfall house. Make sure you sign your ticket. If you buy a lottery ticket, Mars is moving to the house of gaming, casinos, and lotteries. He's going retrograde too. You might find an old ticket in a drawer. I say sign it because Mercury in Sag forgets the details. And if you don't sign it, you may not win it because somebody else grabs it away from you. So be careful for that kind of mischief. But for the most part, some kind of chunky financial money could befall you, especially with Ceres, the goddess of the harvest and abundance, traveling in your 8th house of chunky money this month. So I think for some of you Aquarius, there's kind of a feeling of pennies from heaven or financial flush or windfall. And so pick up your gratitude attitude this month. It looks good on your money front. I would also point out that Saturn, the Lord of your sign, went direct October 23rd. Moves out of the house of your body by next March. You have probably gone through some health struggles with Lord Saturn in the house of your body. And that was in the, I think it was kind of like April, May, June of 2020. Exact dates are escaping my COVID brain. And then he was back full time in December of 20 through to now in your first house, doing retrogrades every 5 months every year. I found I had health challenges for each of the retrogrades, and they were usually sciatic nerve, tailbone stuff. Saturn rules the skeletal system, the bony structures. And then he's going forward though now, and he's moving forward, and he's going to leap into March 7th across the house fence into your 2nd house and make you dutiful, responsible, and a good steward of your money and possessions. But before he does that, he's moving direct all of November and increasing his speed, getting out of a gnarly square to your 4th house where you've been confused with shock and awe developments around where you live, real estate, land, property, where you're supposed to settle. All of that starts to wane as he moves forward, and we get rid of that gnarly square to Uranus and the North Node in your house of real estate, moving you towards a nest, a grounded state, but also better health. So your health is improving this month because Saturn is moving forward. Yes. You're also moving forward on real estate and home situations that you were uncertain about, and getting clarity in the month of November about your long-term game plan here. I had a lot of upset around real estate lately. I can't even go into the story. It's been stupidly really chaotic since Uranus entered the 4th house back in 2018. And he doesn't leave till 26. It's called a nomad transit for us Aquarians. All right, moving into other sky stories. Mars is retrograding since the 30th of October to January 12th. And as he does so, he's retrograding in the house of children, the house of romance and sexuality. He may be going backwards in November so that we can, in our independent business enterprise and our creativity, he could be going backwards so we can pick up a new creative thread that we dropped so that we can re-engage in a deeper connection romantically with someone we're with, so that we can re-engage with a child in a new meaningful way. And that retrograde even corresponds to me going back from Ontario to Vancouver to spend time there for a few months. And I will be reconnecting with my children who live there because I've been in Ontario lately. So in Canada. So this is something to consider. And a retrograde Mars here, he's kind of close to Earth. He's very powerful. And he could help you with passion projects, things you're really into, and having a lot of dig in around them, especially going into things that you're passionate about, that you're learning or teaching, or that you have engagement with the online world and you're passionate about. His retrograde can help you because he owns your third house of the online world. Really dig in to finding that passionate engagement with something that you care about with a lot of momentum, but look for real momentum because you're kind of grinding into the back end. This could be where you're redoing the back end of a website or recreating a project or rewriting the manuscript or redoing the paintings. But then January 12th onward, you got leapfrog forward until March with super powered Saturn momentum, directionality, and speed, passion. Ideas you're passionate about, projects you're passionate about, writing you're passionate about, Mars and Gemini. And this could be where you move away from those children, right? Or they move away from you, especially if you're denesting January onward to March. Okay. And similarly, Mars retrograde could be a kid just came home to live with you and you're like, my kid's back home. All right. Moving forward into the guy stories. Who didn't I cover? I covered all those guys. Micro stories, of course. I will talk about this. When I have to go kind of quick here, I want to finish you guys up. Every sign gets about 20 minutes, so don't complain, but I have a client in like 8 minutes or something, 7 minutes. I want to draw your attention to the eclipse, but I want you to watch my eclipse video because it's going to be way more important to listen to the details. And I can't do that in this video. November 8th, Taurus eclipse, 16 Taurus basically is an important eclipse in your sky. Taurus is where you live, your home, land, real estate, property, mother, legacy, wealth, ancestors, your private life. You've been going through a lot of change. And the eclipse cycle since January, in earnest, since January of 22 to July of 23 is trying to find you a new home, basically, and let go of the ones that aren't right for you and move excitingly towards the career, to the home life that you're deserving in life. There's a little shock and awe just before the eclipse of November 8th with the 5th to the 7th. That's going to be Venus and Mercury nearby opposite Uranus, November 5th and 7th, from Scorpio, your career space, but it's also your reputation house and how you appear in the visible world. Now, Venus up here with Mercury could actually be a female communicating from a workspace, a career space, or a public space in a bit of a exciting way or shocking way around property and real estate. Now, who knows, anything with Venus and Uranus can be about money and a sudden unexpected money story. And it can be exciting, but it is square Saturn in a broad square to Saturn as well. So you may have to deal up some responsibility around a financial issue connected to work and career. I don't know. It's really interesting. We'll see what happens there. But then we moved into the eclipse on the 8th, and it's a full moon total eclipse. It's very powerful, visible in the west coast of North America. So if you're in the west coast, it will really hit you more intensely, and parts of Europe as well. But I would say that this is going to be an eclipse full moon that reveals to you your true home, because full moon is climax, completion, and on the 6 months that unfold, there's an end about one place you live and a beginning of something new. But full moons bring clarity, enlightenment, and revelation around the home story. So this is your true home story, fulfilling itself. Okay. Really good for Aquarius, but the moon is intense nonetheless and could bring some kind of disruption or change in your home story as well. And then Venus trines Neptune sextiles Pluto. This is about potentially power and wealth and dreams and coming true between let's say the 8th to the 15th of November. This is a Scorpio Venus and a Scorpio energy. That's your 10th house of reputation and career. I mean, your 10th house can be just how things that are happening in your life are visible by the rest of the world. Trining Neptune in the money house possessions house, and sextile the god of power, Pluto, in your 12th. Now, Pluto in Capricorn is about wealth. These are things that are hidden from view. The 12th house activates legacy wealth, and you could be coming into some kind of inheritance reveal or a bequeathment thing that you become aware of between those dates, most acutely the 10th to the 13th of the month of November. There's a lovely Venus trine Jupiter, yay, on the 14th and 15th, while the sun is trining Neptune. So this is that Scorpio stellium in the house of your reputation and your career. And that is opportunity on steroids, golden career or money opportunities, breaking through, a career connected to reputation and money, breakthroughs, Jupiter, Neptune, dreamy and really happy, sun, your purpose. This is a light in the sky for you. You got a big sun energy in Scorpio, really good. In Venus, you could be really popular. Like as an Aquarius rising doing my YouTube videos and stuff, I could have a real breakthrough, like a viral hit could happen with this combination, especially with Venus opposite Uranus, because I do all my videos from home. So this is, if you're employed, this is like great advancements, perks, and maybe some promotions coming through that advance your finances significantly. But it's all flowing, and it's really sweet, lucky energy and money and career stuff for most Aquarius rising and sun and moon, on the 14th, 15th window of the month. Then you have Mars squaring Neptune, defogging things that you're confused or deluded about from November 16th to the 22nd. Everything that confuses you is no longer going to, especially when it comes to themes of love, romance, sexuality, your children, your creativity, and your finances. And there's a dispelling of what was unsure, uncertain, foggy, or confusing the 16th to the 22nd. Venus on a conjunction to Mercury on the 19th to the 23rd is really good for financial luck, opportunity, windfalls, popularity, high public appeal, and things that you're communicating, messaging, or playing, like lotteries. You could really have a win here, or casinos and things like that. At the end of the month that I mentioned, there's this glorious love up between Saturn and Mars. This is where you consolidate the relationship. You work things out with your children. Your business and creative projects become tangibly form-oriented and successful. Alrighty, Aquarius, I did talk fast for you. I hope that wasn't too fast. Please like and subscribe. Come back for my 2023 all year, all signs forecast, which will be coming onto YouTube in a shorter form, and you can purchase the package from me, and that should be available by the 3rd week of November. Big hugs and love to all of my fellow Aquarian sisters and brothers. Ciao, ciao.